Microphone check. Microphone check. All right, so today we got something special. Let me fix my belt. And today we gonna talk hip hop. This one's not necessarily an album review. This is actually gonna be an overview of a show that happens to be on YouTube and is free. So I'm gonna link it. But we're gonna react to a small portion of it while I basically go over the significance of why this event is so important. But before I do that, I just want to let people know because I don't think too many people are aware. At least not too many people watch this channel. But I have a website where I sell clothing, and I haven't linked it. This is an example of a design I did. And a lot of people also don't know because they're not out here. But I own a skateboard company. So this is one of many skateboards that I have created. This is a black-owned skateboarding company. These are not normal skateboarding trucks. These right here are stationary trucks so that you can practice doing tricks indoors. All right. Now that that's out the way, we can get into some real shit. The reason why it's important that I show that is because, for one, a lot of people don't know, but also the people who do know have been asking me questions why I haven't dropped anything new in a while. The reason is I've been doing this, what I'm doing right now, but also too, I'm actually redoing the whole clothing distribution. The skateboards are going to stay the same, but the whole clothing aspect has to be redone all the way from the beginning. And even with that, I'm gonna have an announcement eventually. But within the process of that, I'm actually gonna delete my Instagram, and I'm going to change the name of not my YouTube, but my Twitch. I gotta change the name of my Twitch eventually. But I'm gonna definitely give people information on all that whenever the time comes. But today, we ain't gotta worry about none of that shit. Today is the day where we're gonna sit back and let me speak this hip hop shit. So, a couple days ago, the artists of the first album I reviewed they happened to do a show in New York at the Blue Note in particular. So if you know who the first artist album I reviewed on this channel, you already know it's this man right here. And I just want everybody to know how fucking intense this show was that him and Pete Rock performed. I'm only gonna just play a little bit of it and react to it, but one thing I do want to say is everybody needs to fucking go watch this shit. It's free on YouTube. It's about I know the actual recording is 4 hours, but the actual show, which he does twice, and I'm gonna talk about that in a sec. The actual show, I'd say probably like an hour and something. But the way the show is done is so dope. It's, as you can see, the theme is a basement. They got a 2 turntable setup. They got a retro TV. They got the antique speakers. They got the fucking vinyl record, the vinyl record cases, and I don't know what to call them, the little slider things that people hold their records, and they got all that shit there. But the whole 2 DJ setup is dope. The old school lamps. They got the fucking old school album covers on the wall and shit. They got the Donuts J Dilla vinyl on the wall. But aside from that too, like Common has such a history in hip hop, and that's the reason why I chose this video that's playing at the top. But he has such a history in hip hop. People don't know, like, not only has he been rapping for 30 years plus, he's been killing it 30 years plus. Even watching the show, when you do watch it, he's on fucking point. He's in the highest form he could possibly be doing this shit. And it's wild. It's like he's just really spent the whole time that he's been doing this, like, really studying on a higher level, and people ain't giving him credit on that. Because even within the show, like, the way they go into the other songs in transition is so fucking dope. At some point, he does a remix of Troy, Troy, They Reminisce Over You. He does his own version of it, which is a tribute to Jay Dilla, and I think it's the illest shit ever, especially the way they do it. He does the same thing with The World Is Yours. Pete Rock has him basically do his own version of it, and it's so smooth the way he's doing it. And after the song finished, I realized, I was like, yo, this ain't even the nigga who did The World Is Yours. It was Nas. And it's crazy how they do that. Like, there's no, like, they don't have to fucking give it an intro like I'm giving it right now. They just go into it and just hope that you catch it. But it's like the way he does the song, it's as if it's a song that he's been performing for like 10 years plus, but it's a song that he just wrote. Same with They Reminisce Over You. He just wrote that shit. A lot of the songs that they're playing are some of his best hits. They got Testify up in the shit. They got Go. They got it made me remember how much I miss old Kanye. He does the song that he did with Kanye on the Chappelle Show. He does that song too. Pete Rock makes a beat live. When they're playing The World Is Yours, they take the drums out and just let the loop play for a while. That shit always gets me emotional, but it just reminds you of the history that's embedded within this music, and especially his era. But he's a master at it. There's no vocals playing in the background when you hear this shit I'm about to play.
Of the unknown, I'm fortunate to come home to blocks we fought and swung on. Fortunate the Lord put me on the path to use the microphone.
And that's the thing. This song that's playing right now, this is one of the songs that's on that album that I reviewed, and I believe I briefly mentioned it, but this is the song Fortunate.
On for a ride and a staff. Fortunate that my heart and the beat knocks the Windy City street bop. I'm fortunate for Pete Rock.
New York City.
Give it up for the legendary Pete Rock. Woo.
What's up, boy?
Yo, NYC, we gotta. Oh yeah.
Let's go. NYC.
The way they brought Pete Rock in there was so smooth. Like, that's like the illest introduction. Like, he's just right to it. And on top of that, this is that Dilla record I was talking about earlier. They got that just up there. And I remember when I was listening to the album, and I'm sure more than me, people who listen to the album, I'm sure you felt that Dilla presence on it. And the whole time I knew it, I remember I was thinking, I was like, yo, I think the reason this album is the way it is it's not a tribute to Dilla, but it's kind of like like, this is what we doing down here while you up there. And I really feel like that's powerful. But near the end of the album, at some point they started scratching, and I remember they was bringing in Dilla's voice, and I was like, yo, I was right. And that's really how I felt with this show too. Like, this show is really a really good magnification on the actual effect of the album, or what they were trying to do, which is positive vibes. And at the same time, it's like Common's so smooth. It's like they do a routine where they bring a girl on stage and he performs I forgot the name of the song, but it's a song from Like Water for Chocolate, and it's so smooth. Like, it's so respectful to the both times the woman they brought on stage. It's kind of like, if I was there, like, Common, I feel like it's the only rapper where I would let my girl up on stage with him, because I know it's not going to be some bullshit. And I really felt like he did a good job keeping it like that. Like, he really keeps that reputation of, like, don't worry, like, it's basically just a show. Like, we're trying to feel the vibe of when this song was written. It's not, oh yeah, bring your girl on stage and we're gonna usher her. Nah, it's not like that. Pete Rock, one of the best producers, and I'm really glad that they did this show the way they did because
See, you gotta. Oh yeah. Blue Note. NYC, you gotta. Oh yeah. Let's go. NYC, we gotta. Oh yeah.
Pete Rock is in your town.
Shut them down.
Pete Rock is in your town.
We shut them down.
Pete Rock is in your town.
We shut them down.
even this part right here, I don't know what this routine is, but I remember during it there was a specific song that they switched to, and I was like, "Yo,
Pete Rock is in your
New York,
town.
we shut 'em down.
Pete Rock is in your town.
We shut 'em down.
Pete Rock is in your town.
We shut 'em down.
Pete Rock is in your town.
We shut 'em down.
Pete Rock is in your town. What you do?
I wreck for respect, check one, hit the deck, let the man of the hour commence the soul power. For once I gotta say, shut him down on the regular, causing mass hysteria in your area, kicking it for my man Chuck D, down with PE on the remix. I know the flick, so
man, people don't understand. Like Pete Rock, this is one of my favorite producers, but he's also like, I think in my opinion, he was always my number one rapper producer. Wait, let's see. How do I say that? Out of all the people I know for producing, he was the best rapper out of them. And I noticed that a lot of producers did step up their rapping skills, but Pete Rock to me is always going to be the producer that's the nicest on the mic out of all of them. And that's not factual. That part that I just said right there, that's just that was my opinion, but that's how I always know him. I always know him as, oh, okay, like he can produce, but if we need him, he can get on the mic and really kick up dirt.
check it. Before I step down when I'm in your town, you know I got to shut them down. New York City, throw your hands up in the air. Let's go.
Yeah.
Whose world is this?
Come on.
It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this?
Come on.
It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this? Yo, Common, kick that verse, King.
This is what I was talking about. This is not the nigga who did this song. Like, and it's so smooth the way he goes into it. Like, people probably didn't even fucking realize that. But this right here is a remix. He did not write this song. I mean, he wrote this song he's about to perform, but he's not the person who did this song.
I stagger in the gathering, possessed by patterns that be scattering.
Say what?
Over the global, my vocals be traveling, unraveling. My abdomen is line is babbling, grammatics that are masculine. Grab the men, verbally badgering bars, Winston Madeline.
What's back on video LP?
Raps I make up like some do, excuses, feeling like Noah. Look at my mellows up on deuces.
Yeah.
Broad ain't got a mind, a job, but crib she useless.
Yeah.
Acoustic bass lines embrace rhymes while I chase mines.
Oh.
They say signs of the end is near.
Yeah.
Wonder can I walk a righteous path, holding a beer. My verses then a Kramer, go off like a pager. Rest in peace to Craig Mack in your ear. He's the flavor.
The presidents to represent me.
Yo, I'm out for dead presidents to represent me.
Whose world is this?
Come on.
Yeah, and it's real important I bring all this up because currently right now the social media hip-hop experts who I expected to talk about this stuff are instead instigating beef between Drake and Kendrick, even though we all know Drake is dead. But this is the thing, like, this is a show that they did just a couple nights ago in New York at the Blue Note on top of that. And I believe that this was listed within their tour schedule. I know I've seen it on Instagram, and I know I might maybe have mentioned it in the concerts thing that I did because I know that they had a stop in LA. But the point is this. The point is, if you are a hip-hop platform, you need to be educating people on events that are coming up. And if you miss those, let people know and inform them about events that pass, if there's any traces or ways to still view it, because we need to get the viewership up. The way hip-hop is run now, it's all streams and fucking numbers. So what we need to do is we need to guide people's attention towards shit like this so they can get their numbers up, because that's the least we can fucking do. The least we can do while we're making money off of hip-hop news and media is to honor the legends and make it so that there's more opportunities for them and more money flowing into their pocket. gossip and all this bullshit is not flying in 2024 or 2025. This is, like I said, a hip hop platform. We're talking about hip hop shit. And right now, specifically, we are getting our fucking hip hop on. This show right here, this is an example of all four elements of hip hop being shown and visible. At one point, Common gets in a b-boy stance. So yeah, it's important that we report on this type of shit. There's cats on here making channels off of just hearing fucking classics for the first time. Some shit that we've been listening to for 30 years. People are just now listening to for the first time. We got to do better. We really got to start putting people onto shit like this, for real, especially if it's current. Tomorrow in my section, they about to do a big-ass Red Bull breakdancing event. And you already know what happened in France with breakdancing at the Olympics. So, I mean, of course, it's in LA, so they about to take off with that shit. And that's another thing that I got to keep people updated with. But this show right here, like I said, is free on YouTube. It's up here. I'm going to link it. But as you can see in the top corner, that's the name of it. But yeah, watch this. This shit.
It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this?
Come on.
It's mine,
New
it's
York.
mine, it's mine. Whose world is this?
The world.
It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this? It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world?
Pete,
Y'all know what's up with this right here? Yeah.
Pete, you know the world is yours.
Yes.
Man, you and Nas created one of the greatest songs in, not only in hip hop, just in music.
Thank you.
Man. Thank you, man.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, bro.
You already know.
It inspired so many of us, man.
Yeah.
And I want to know, man, when you heard this record, before it became the record y'all did, when you heard this record, what was you
When
thinking?
I take the
Man,
drums out,
I was in the crib cleaning up. I was vacuuming. I had these jazz albums sitting here. I saw this Ahmad Jamal album called I Love Music, and it's called, well, what's the name of that? What's the name of the album?
Awakening is
Awakening is the
Yeah.
album. The name of the song is called I Love Music. And then that part came, and I was like, oh shit. And then I rewinded the record, Then I was like, let me go make this, because this is fire. And then I made it. Nas came over the next day, he heard it, and he was like, and he just started doing the concept and everything in his head. And then he came up with it, he was like, yo, Pete, I want you to sing this part. I was like, I don't be singing, man, I don't be singing. But I think I did a pretty decent job for hip hop,
You
right?
did an excellent job, bro. We all seen that, bro. You did that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whose world is this?
The world is yours. It's
Mine, it's mine, it's mine.
Whose world
Is this?
Yeah.
It's mine.
It's mine. It's
Yeah, that should be
Man, that's
making me work up an appetite, bro.
Yeah, man. You
see, and that's the thing, that right there is a fucking gem. And when people like this is gone, there ain't no one else that's gonna be able to pass around a fucking story like that. This song that they talking about, this is part of our history, our culture. This song's been fucking played for 30 goddamn years. So it's crazy to me that any hip hop platform, quote, quote, ain't talking about shit like this. Like, this is a legendary fucking concert. This is an artist from Chicago and an artist from fucking New York who both have been holding it down for several decades in their sections. Not just that, but also pushing positivity, getting people on proper diets and shit. Like these dudes basically are both on a lifestyle regimen, basically changing people's lifestyles. And they get up on stage and they not doing that whole rap with the fucking vocals playing in the background. They doing a raw show based on timing. They got a 2 DJ setup. That's another thing too that people don't understand. They got a 2 DJ setup and they got Common just rocking 1s and 2s. And on top of that, their timing on both sets that they do is just impeccable. Like, you can't do it better than that. Like, you can't. Like, as soon as the song plays, they rapping. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's crazy. But shout outs to not just Pete Rock, but shout outs to this DJ right here. This is DJ Dummy. That's, I believe, Common's DJ, but shout outs to him. This show is dope as fuck. They had Bilal come out at one point And I mean, everybody's from my time period. You already know what Bilal brings to the table, but this show, like, it's some shit to watch. 100%. Like, it's so dope. Like, right now, these niggas about to go.
I know. Hey, DJ Dummy, did you order that food? Is it under your name? Oh, it's under my. Okay.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, well, all right, I'm gonna go get the food. I'll be right back, y'all.
Right.
But yo, this is the classic, man.
Yo,
Thank
bro.
you, man.
And then I got some albums to show you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, man, it's like people don't understand. Like, this ain't just hip hop. It's not just a concert. This shit's like theater. Like, the way they're entering and exiting the show is kind of like it's a freaking sitcom. Like, I feel like I'm watching an episode of Martin. Like, Common, he gets off the stage, and like you have the assumption that he's leaving to go get pizza. Like, of course he's not leaving the building to go get pizza, but he comes back with a pizza box and they continue rapping. And from there, like, they've got a whole bunch of different events going on in this basement. I personally thought that was like some of the illest shit I've seen. The best shows I've been to haven't been because of the performance. It's always been because of the wow factor of how they had their lights set up, how they had the lights flicker and change these colors at this specific part when this song came up. Maybe the audience was perfect to where there was enough space in between each group of people to where I can get a better view of everything without like having to fucking squeeze through people. Shit like that. Like, it's really important shit like that changes the shows. And before I cut this off too, another thing I want to point out and a reason to watch this is because he has a turntable, a mixer, another turntable. Pete Rock, on the other hand, has a turntable, a mixer, and his drum machine. And one thing that I know for sure that I pointed out when I reviewed this album that they did was that it felt like a lot of the songs were made with MPC and how important it is to hear that and all that shit. I'm so glad that he brought his fucking MPC to this show, and I'm so glad that at one point they show him make a beat live and how his mental process is when it comes to chopping the vinyls. And that's the thing, like, people don't... This right here, if you're a fan of Freddie Gibbs, you know what this is. This is a vinyl record. This is a 12-inch. It's got the track listings right there. So this is the original format that people would splice samples from on the MPC, which is that drum machine shown on his desk. But basically the way that works is you connect a turntable or record player to the plugs in the back of the machine, and then basically it records pieces of the music that you send into it, and then from there it formats them into small sections that get assigned to keys on the pad. And that's a skill itself, just visually looking at music wave formats and being able to tell which part of that you want to splice and cut like it's a fucking onion to assign to a pad. And from there, your mental technique on how you manipulate and order those sounds or assign them, all of that shit is a process. And it's crazy to see someone do that shit live. It's crazy to see Common freestyle on stage in front of fucking not just people, but millions of people who are possibly watching this YouTube stream. Think about that. To unscripted rap off the top of your head to the tempo of a beat in front of an audience of people in a restaurant and possibly millions of people who are watching you through a camera. Think of that pressure. Freestyling off the top, meaning that at any moment you could accidentally say a word that will get you canceled, basically. So people got to take that shit into consideration. I'm so sick of logging on YouTube, seeing people comment on some shit, a great show or a great album or a great song, or even just any black man trying to put food on their fucking table for their kids, and people under that shit like, yo man, them drums gotta be harder next time. Yo man, your swag ain't alright. Yo man, them new J's you got, them shit's a scruff. Man, fuck your album. Man, all that negative shit that people be putting into music just in general, whether it's your low Spotify streams, even though Spotify don't pay you shit, or oh man, your production isn't dope enough, or it's not expensive enough, or oh, you didn't use this, or oh, you didn't have this, or it doesn't sound like that. It gets robotic. But when you can freely go out there and do your thing and people appreciate it, that shit should be spread out. It honestly should be spread out more than it really is. So I'm just going to layer it in one more time. Anybody who is a fan of either artist, even if you saw this and just felt like what I was saying is interesting, go peep this fucking show. Like I said, it's a 4-hour video, but I believe it's going to be 2 of the same show, but they do change outfits. And then there is an intermission, like a pretty decent intermission in between. But yeah, I definitely recommend peeping it. Whether it's the first half or the second half, both are dope. And there are small little things that are different in each one. But either way, like both of them are on perfect timing. Both shows, everything is smooth, everything is fire. They go through most of Common's best songs. They have like a lot of his good ass songs in there. And as you saw, like he does one remix. He does a couple remixes, but I played one of them. But if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. Poltergeist Classics 1. We're going to keep you updated. This is a hip-hop video. I'm going to do an album review another day, but the next video I'm about to put up is about to be video game related, so stay tuned for that. Peace out, y'all.